Call Ms. DiOrio.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Brittany DiOrio. Brittany, B-R-I-T-T-A-N-Y. DiOrio, D-I-O-R-I-O.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. DiOrio, where do you live?
I live in Barrington.
Have you always lived in Barrington?
I have.
Grew up here?
Yep.
Okay. Who do you live with?
My husband, Andrew, who also grew up in town, and my two children, ages 6 and 9.
So, it would be fair to say that not only are you an employee here, or were an employee here in Barrington, but you personally knew some of the people you worked with,
I did.
including the superintendent
I did.
and your building principal.
Yes.
What's your education background?
I went to Rhode Island College. I have an early childhood degree, grades pre-K to 2. I have a special ed degree, mild to moderate grades K through 8. And then in 2019, I went back to get my master's degree from URI, and that was in the areas of TESOL, which is teaching English to speakers of other languages. I also got a degree in dual language immersion, and I earned 2 additional certifications. English as a second language teacher, grades pre-K to 2, and bilingual dual language pre-K to 2.
Okay. What's been your work history as a teacher?
I started my career in Pawtucket. I was there for 13 years. I taught special ed, I taught grades, I taught kindergarten, and then I taught in a first grade dual language classroom.
How long did you teach there?
13 years.
How did you come to work in Barrington?
I saw a posting on School Spring, and they were in need of a special educator, and it's really always been my dream to come back and teach in the town that my mother grew up in, I grew up in, my husband grew up in, his family grew up in. We have ties to this town, and I felt like it was meant to be.
When did you come to Barrington?
I actually started September 2020 teaching distance learning in Pawtucket, found of the position in September and applied and was hired and came October 5th, 2020.
So right at the height of the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
Do you have any idea that you'd be sitting here a year and a half later being fired because you didn't take a vaccine because of this pandemic?
And the fact that I have poured my heart, blood, sweat, and tears into teaching in a different district who hasn't mentioned once about a vaccine mandate, to come here and to have my career destroyed is devastating, yes.
In fact, you came here as a non-tenured teacher. You gave up 13 years of tenure to come here, right?
Right, I did.
Who did you meet with when you were applying here?
I had an interview with Jim Callahan, and then I had an interview with Superintendent Missouri.
Were they obviously positive interviews?
Great interviews. Yep.
They were happy to bring you on board.
Very much.
The principal that you mentioned, what was his name again?
Jim Callahan.
There's an evidence, some emails that you sent to Mr. Missouri regarding some concerns you had in September when you started first hearing about this vaccine mandate, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a conversation with your principal about that?
I did.
What was that conversation?
I had 2 very specific conversations with him. One, when I was notified by the union rep, I did go to him, and he said he had not heard any of that, said that accommodations would be put in place. And then I did call him very upset the night that I got news that my exemption was denied. And he again repeated, he had never talked to Superintendent Missouri about it. He was quite speechless. He did not know what to say. I was very upset on the phone, and he didn't know what to say.
So either Mr. Vasori lied when he testified that he questioned Mr. Callahan about your employment, and Mr. Callahan lied to you when he said he hadn't had any communication.
Objection.
Correct.
Who do you believe?
Objection.
All right, Brittany, we're getting late. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I mean, again, this isn't, I just could have never imagined that this would be where I'm sitting right now, dealing with you here, and us being on the chopping block and being torn apart. We are educators. We are born with a love of teaching and educating children, and you have ripped that from us. Ripped that from us over something that makes zero sense. Zero. When you've had vaccinated staff spread COVID and shut down classrooms, let alone this entire school shut down, gone to distance learning because positive staff cases, all 100% vaccinated. You have zero justification to do what you're doing. And you sitting here picking us apart, ripping us apart over a career that we've dedicated to teaching and caring for children is disgusting. It's disgusting.
Amendment.